Hi guys, Jangro here, and welcome to episode 6 of this Valhelsia Enhanced Vanilla Hardcore playthrough. We're going to take a look at some new stuff today, but before we do that, we're going to take a look at how we generate XP these days, because that's critical to this mod pack. We're going to take a look at the Artifality mod, because that's another way to get XP. And we were going to look at Tech Reborn. We'll get started, but we get a little bit distracted by some dire bats. Okay, so as we do, let's take a quick look at what's happened here in the world since the last episode. As you can see up on the hill here, I expanded the copper pan setup. And let's go take a look at that. So as you remember, we had right up here the output of the 5 pan setup. That's been moved inside, and the 5 pans are still here, but I expanded it a lot, like another 15 rows. So it was basically just, building a staircase of sand with copper pans on top and putting a water source block on each pan. And the output of this is crazy. There's so many clay balls, iron ingots, gold ingots, which introduces a resource problem for us. So as we run inside, we can see that all this stuff is accumulating in our storage units, which we've expanded greatly. You can see all this stuff flowing through here. And I keep emptying these and they fill up, and we're getting a lot of overflow. Speaking of overflow, eggs. We have so many eggs coming from the chickens out here. If you take a quick look at our kind of XP mob grinder, we're auto-feeding cows and pigs and sheep. And we can just stop by periodically and pick up the XP, so that's pretty cool. But the chickens are still here. They don't get auto-fed, but they're still sitting there making eggs. And those eggs are all dumping into our system over here. As you can see, there's an egg in the mix with just about everyone, and they're all going over there. One more thing I wanted to show you is these clay balls. We've actually got them going up through the ceiling, and it doesn't just stop at the ceiling. There's a pipe coming out of that top with a servo and pipe going up even farther up into our trading hall. And we have another storage unit up here that is pulling up to 2048 clay balls. So we've always got these clay balls sitting up here ready to trade. So let's just do it. Let's do a kind of trading session. We'll fill up our inventory with as many clay balls as we can and take a look. I think we're at the end of level 97 here, and it's about 800 points XP rather per level. And we just sell clay balls until they won't buy anymore. And we'll move on to the next guy. And we can get rid of a couple stacks per mason. And by the time we get around the whole circuit, they'll buy again. They've had enough time to kind of refresh. And so here we are. We've just about used up. I skipped a bunch because I did this for, 3 or 4 minutes. You do not need to see all that. But we're nearing the end here, and we've got about 4.5, I think, stacks of emeralds, which means about 300 trades happened at about 4 XP per trade. We're looking at 1,000 XP, so that's easily a level. And by the time I get around to everybody, that storage unit's filled up a bit more, so I'll trade those as well on the way over here. But I want to show you one more thing, which is the Cleric. And the Cleric is amazing because they sell ender pearls, first of all, but they also sell bottles of XP, or bottles of enchanting, rather, which is XP. Now, they're pretty expensive. They're 3 emeralds per. Sometimes it goes down to 2 for me, but I can buy 12 from a Cleric. And so it's maybe not the most efficient use of the emeralds, but it sure is fun to get XP like that. And as soon as I can get some more brewing stands, I'm going to get a bunch more Clerics. So let's take a look at our skills. You can see we went from the end of level 97 to the end of level 99 with just a 4-minute trading session with a couple thousand clay balls. So you can see that it's pretty easy at this point to get 1,000 XP. And you may have noticed by now that the XP required per level is growing exponentially. And I made this chart. The blue line is what it used to be. They updated it to make it a little easier. The formula has a multiplier in it. That's what that number is at the top. And the red line is what it takes for XP is the number on the left and the levels is on the bottom. And so At 100, we know that's about 800. At 200, it's going to be somewhere between 3 and 4,000. And at level 300, we're getting up to 8,000 per XP. And maxing out in the 400s is going to be upwards of 15,000. And by then, we'll have other ways of getting XP, like some mob grinders. And I know that the Valhelsia team is also working on some new ways to get XP through achievements and things like that. So if it's ever feeling impossible, just think back to this. It's going to take some creativity to set up some XP farms, but it's not impossible. It's just going to take more than killing salmon. So another way to get XP is with this Artifality Floral Staff, which I stole from some drowns in an underwater kind of dungeon that they live in. There were a couple chests in there, and I found a couple of these staffs. It turns bone meal into flowers, and also gives you XP in the process. This is my composting automation system. Drop seeds or anything in here that composts, and it automatically turns it into bone meal. But if you right-click with the staff on dirt, it makes a flower and gives you XP. And if we just right-click again, it harvests it. Right-click again, makes a flower. And you just keep doing that. It gives you like 2 or 3 XP per flower. Not a lot, but I mean, what do you want for some free XP? And the best thing is you can just right-click, hold down right-click, and it'll just spam harvest plant flowers for all the XP you can get from your bone meal. So, hey, when you're done, put all the flowers back in the composter. Turn it into more bone meal. Pretty cool. And finally, in the XP department, we got ourselves a spider spawner. This is a cave spider spawner, which we got from the ravine that we spawned next to, right, way back in episode 1. It's up here, and we'll just head over there, dig down into the mine, where we're pretty much guaranteed to find at least one spider spawner. So yeah, so here it is right here. It's not that far down. So we'll just dig on down. Now, if we weren't playing in hardcore, I'd probably have parkour down here or just ridden a waterfall down. But we're being extra careful here. Do not want to die of a fall. So we made it. This is a pretty cool platform with the chains. Probably come back and grab those for some decorations. And there was a lot of hunting around, but we finally found one. And it's not a very exciting mine shaft. And this is completely uneventful because the spawner was already lit up when we got here, luckily. So we'll free it up a little bit, dig our tunnel, a stairway out, so we can safely carry this thing out of here. There's the surface. We sleep and bring it home. Now, as far as spawners go, cave spider spawner is not ideal. It's at least not easy. You can certainly make a good XP farm out of it. And actually, as far as spawners go, I think their spawn rate is the highest. So you can get a lot of spiders and a lot of XP from it. It's just going to be pretty risky. I don't know that I've ever built a spider XP farm and not died doing it. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll drop it right here, which is also probably a really bad idea. So that leaves us with our storage issues. We've got all these clay balls, which we're going to use for leveling up mostly. But those eggs, we need to do something with those. They're getting out of hand. So we're going to jump into Tech Reborn. And the first thing we're going to do is the recycler, which requires some glowstone dust, which we get from our cleric, and dirt, and a compressor, a circuit, electronic circuit. These things are easy first things to get in Tech Reborn. So all we need is refined iron, which is just smelted iron ingots. So we need to find some rubber first. The very first thing is to find rubber trees. These trees that have pointy tips, we'll run over this one. And you can see they have sap on them. And so we just need to, we can't grab the sap yet because we need tree taps. what we want to do is just grab some saplings and plant some closer to home. So we'll run around here and let's just harvest some leaves. There's another one right here. Just grab these leaves. And we'll head back to the base. I like these tree stumps here. It's kind of like a deforested area. Okay, so we'll head back to the base and we'll make a spot to plant these rubber trees. I want to do this right up here above our sorting system, above our base, so we can kind of automatically process the rubber off of these, the sap off of these rubber trees. So we'll flatten out kind of a ledge right here. Initially, it's going to be a manual process to get the sap off the trees, but we'll automate it eventually. All right, so this looks pretty good. We'll just get this an extra row of dirt here, and we'll just get these saplings planted. I think they'll grow in this space. All right, so let's just plant these. We've got 7 saplings right now, and it's probably a bad idea to put them all right next to each other because the sap's going to grow on all 4 sides of the trunk. We'll adjust. While we're waiting for those to grow, let's make some tree taps. We need... Now I had it in my head that we need rubber tree planks, but we just need any planks and sticks. So that's easy. And we just put that's kind of tap shape. You can see where get the tapping time achievement. These taps don't stack, which is annoying, and they break after like, I don't know, 20 uses. So you need to make several of them. Let's see, we got any trees yet? Yeah, we do. So we can run up and put a tap in our hand, and you just right click on the tree when you find a little bit of tree sap. Didn't make myself a very safe place to do this. Now if you break the leaves off the trees, they'll still grow sap, and you can uncover some. So I always just break the leaves off the trees. You can see we've got a few more up here. Get some more saplings from those leaves, and we'll plant those, and now we will head inside. So now we just take the sap and we put it in our smelter. Those are going to cook, and we'll see rubber come out the bottom there. And that's going to run through our pipes over to our Tech Reborn chest that we have configured to get Tech Reborn items. And that's over here. While we're waiting for those, let's just grab some copper. And we need copper cables. And the rubber will be to insulate them, but we need this copper cable to start with. You can't have too many of these. We're going to use up a lot of these insulated copper cables. Here's the rubber. There's 6. The 7th one is coming through now. And grab that. And now we can make our insulated copper cables, which, again, we cannot have too many of these early on. We're going to be using a ton of these for circuits. And now we can get going making our recycling system. All right, so guys, while I was preparing for getting started on Tech Reborn, I had a run-in with a dire bat, and it scared me. So I am back to leveling up and taking like the 10,000 clay balls that I have and leveling up as much as I possibly can. So this is just a big grind. I'm telling you, the dire bats are not, they don't mess around. So we're leveling all up, getting as much You can see I've already got myself up to full hearts, and I've got myself all set up with armor. I upgraded all of the librarians. You can see I've got some serious protection, mending, thorns. I'm hoping thorns will help with the bats. Feather falling, respiration. Our armor is stacked now. Now we get a ton of books from trading with these librarians. We're trading them or disenchanting them so we can trade them back again as books. Get all that XP back. Now these bats, you can see I just fought one, and you can see its fangs right up there on the top of my inventory, and it almost killed me. Now someone in the YouTube comments named Mixed Reactor mentioned that their base was overrun with bats, and I only fought one, and he wasn't kidding. Let's take a look at the dire bats. Now the one that I fought ambushed me, so I didn't even really get a good look at it. But here it is. I don't know. Seems harmless. Let's get a little closer. So they're not aggressive, at least not immediately. Like these guys are. So if we get closer, there's a couple here. He doesn't seem to be bothered. How about light? This is, I don't think there could be any better atmosphere for a run-in with bats. Yeah, he's just, whoa, there's 4. Okay. Okay, so they don't like their friends attacked. There's some fangs that you pick up, and you get blindness. They blind you. All right, let's head back over to our base. Wow. All right. Mixed Reactor was not kidding. There's a lot. Look at them all. But they're not aggressive. And apparently they run with spiders and zombies. Oh, okay. If these guys attack me, I'm done. No, they're not. Oh, skeletons. Watch out. Okay. Run away. Okay, now he's attacking me. What did I do? I think, did I read if they don't like the light, so that makes them mad. And I don't know, did I run into him near a lamp? I'm blinded. This is great. We're learning all about the dire bats, as long as it doesn't kill us. This is like Jacques Cousteau swimming with sharks. And the dire bat only comes out in a full moon and lays in waiting until it's disturbed. Yes, it does not like to be disturbed. All right, that's enough Jacques Cousteau. It causes blindness, obviously. All right, let's go up to the village. I saw some flying up on top of the cliff. There's one under that cliff over there. The village up here. Let's see what we've got. Yep, there's one. And they're just not aggressive. And you can see the egg. They pick up items that are, I guess they're just like zombies. They pick up items. I don't know if they steal them from you. I don't think I've noticed that happening. They come out, so there's a full moon tonight. I don't know if there was a full moon before I got attacked, but probably not. It was pretty recently. So maybe they come out like in small numbers randomly, but when there's a full moon, watch out. He's also got an egg. So they're just running around picking up the eggs. I assume they'll pick up anything. So here's one sleeping. If we get too close, he'll attack us because they don't like to be disturbed. We'll wait till dawn to see what... Oh. Oh, the skeleton shot the bat. Go get him. And for a moment, we teamed up with the bats. I could just watch these guys all day. All right, there's 2 sleeping there and 1 over on that house. Man, if we stumbled up on this, it would be all over. So many bats. If they all attacked me, it would be over. Okay, now the sun's coming up. Oh. Okay, they started attacking when the sun came up. Oh, gee. Uh-oh. Run. I'm blind. Thank goodness I know my base, sort of. Eat. Oh. That was a big jump. Thank goodness for feather falling. Where's the water? Oh, 2 hearts. They still there? Oh, run underwater. Can you escape underwater? Oh, thank goodness for feather falling and respiration. That was almost the end right there. So you do not want to run into dire bats in the sunlight. There's still one under, and there's a fang. There's still one up under the cliff over the copper pansy. See that? I wonder how long he'll stay there. And still the one under there. And they burn in the sun. So that's good. But they're tough. They take a long time to die in the sun. Let's take a quick look back up in the village. Yeah, they will hang out underneath awnings and cliffs during the day, like skeletons under trees. And there's another one under there. All right, don't mess with the dire bats. Not again. I can take these guys. And there you have it, a close look at the dire bat. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap here. I do not like having my back to that bat. I really wanted to get into Tech Reborn in this episode, but we got a bit distracted by the dire bats. But we did learn a lot about what might be the biggest threat in Valhelsia Enhanced Vanilla. Those guys are tough. You do not want to run into them with no armor on. Next time, we will definitely get into Tech Reborn. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. It helps a ton, and we'll see you next time.